When the final whistle blows, the game ends, but life continues. The scoreboard is cleared, the noise of the crowd fades, and the spotlight switches off. What happens then? That moment is where the real game begins. The game beyond the pitch, beyond the classroom, beyond the workplace. It is a game not of minutes and goals, but of choices, resilience, and purpose. We often believe that success is defined by the trophies we hold, the applause we receive, or the headlines that speak our name. But all of these fade with time. The medal that shines today will gather dust tomorrow. The applause that feels thunderous in the moment will be replaced by silence the next day. If our identity rests only on those temporary victories, then we are left searching once they disappear. The bigger game is about something far deeper: who you become when no one is watching. It is about the discipline you practice on ordinary days, the respect you show others regardless of their status, and the strength you carry when faced with setbacks. In truth, the pitch, the classroom, or the office is just a training ground. Life itself is the main arena. Think about this on the field. Talent may win you a match, but character wins you a lifetime. In life, there will always be victories and defeats. There will be seasons when everything works in your favor and others when nothing seems to go right. The real question is not, did you win today? But what did you learn today? Did you grow? Did you rise after falling? Did you inspire someone else along the way? That is the essence of the bigger game. It demands resilience when things don't go your way. It requires humility when success arrives. And most importantly, it calls for purpose. A reason beyond yourself that pushes you to keep moving forward. When you step off the pitch, you discover that success is not about how many people cheer for you, but about how many people you lift up. It is not about how much you achieve for yourself, but how much you contribute to others. In the bigger game of life, goals are not measured in points but in impact. So, whether you are a student chasing dreams, an athlete training in the shadows, or a professional balancing challenges, remember this: the real victory lies not in what you gain, but in who you become. The match on the field lasts for 90 minutes. The match of life lasts a lifetime. Play it with purpose, play it with resilience, and play it in a way that leaves a legacy far greater than a trophy. That is the bigger game, and it is worth winning every single day. When people hear the word discipline, they often think of restrictions, rules, routines, and sacrifices. It sounds like something that takes freedom away. But in truth, discipline is not a cage, it is a key. It unlocks the doors to opportunities that talent alone can never open. Discipline creates freedom. Think about it in simple terms. A player who trains consistently, even on the days when motivation is low, walks onto the pitch prepared. They don't fear the game because their body and mind are ready. A student who builds the habit of studying a little each day doesn't panic when exams arrive. Their preparation gives them calm. A professional who respects time and works with focus doesn't feel crushed by deadlines. They meet them with confidence. In every case, discipline gives freedom, the freedom to perform at your best, the freedom to choose your future, and the freedom to walk into challenges without fear. The truth is, talent may give you a head start, but without discipline, talent fades quickly. Natural ability can win attention, but discipline sustains excellence. The most successful people are not always the most gifted. They are the ones who show up, put in the work, and stay consistent long after the excitement has gone. Discipline is also the anchor that holds you steady when life gets stormy. There will be days when motivation disappears. There will be mornings when you don't feel like training, studying, or working. Motivation is temporary. It rises and falls like waves. Discipline, however, is steady like the tide. It is the promise you make to yourself: I will show up, no matter how I feel. That promise builds strength, not just in your body, but in your character. And here's the surprising part: discipline doesn't make life harder, it makes life easier. Without discipline, you face constant stress, worrying about being unprepared, regretting wasted time, or scrambling at the last minute. With discipline, you replace that stress with structure, and structure creates peace. That peace is the real freedom. The freedom to live without fear of failure because you know you've done the work. But discipline isn't only about routines, it's about choices. Choosing to sleep early instead of scrolling endlessly on your phone. Choosing to practice again even after making mistakes. Choosing to treat people with respect even when no one is watching. Every choice builds your future, and discipline ensures those choices lead you where you want to go. So remember, this discipline is not your enemy, it is your greatest ally. It is the invisible training partner that pushes you beyond comfort. It is the quiet coach whispering, stay consistent. It is the daily decision to do what needs to be done so that, later, you can do what you want to do. In the end, discipline creates the ultimate freedom. The freedom to look back at your journey with pride, knowing you gave your best, not just when it was easy, but especially when it was hard. Defeat is something no one enjoys. It stings, it humbles, and it often feels unfair. Yet defeat is one of life's greatest teachers. Victories may bring celebration, but defeats bring growth, and growth is what truly shapes us. Resilience in defeat is not just about getting back on your feet. It is about rising stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. On the pitch, in school, at work, or in everyday life, setbacks are inevitable. A missed opportunity, a lost competition, a failed exam, a job rejection. These moments can feel crushing, but they are not the end. They are a test. Will you let defeat define you, or will you define yourself through resilience? Many people believe success is built on winning, but the truth is, success is built on recovery. Every great achievement has a story of failure behind it. The athlete who lifts a trophy has often endured countless losses before tasting victory. The student who graduates with honors has likely failed assignments along the way. The entrepreneur who runs a thriving business may have faced years of rejection before finding the right path. The difference is not that they never fell. It is that they refused to stay down. Resilience in defeat is about shifting your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Defeat reveals weaknesses that victory hides. It exposes areas we need to strengthen, habits we need to build, and attitudes we need to change. In this way, defeat can be a gift, a mirror that shows us where to improve. But resilience is not only about lessons, it is also about attitude. Some defeats come with criticism, sometimes even harsh judgment from others. It takes courage to face that criticism, to keep your head high, and to continue moving forward. True resilience means refusing to let the opinions of others control your destiny. It means trusting your journey, even when others doubt it. And let us be clear, resilience does not mean pretending defeat doesn't hurt. It is okay to feel disappointment. It is okay to grieve a loss. Resilience begins after those emotions. When you decide to stand up anyway, when you decide that the story isn't over. The greatest reward of resilience is not simply another chance to win. It is the strength of character that develops in the process. Each time you bounce back, you train your spirit to be unbreakable. You build confidence not in never failing, but in always rising. That confidence follows you everywhere, beyond the pitch, into your studies, your career, and your personal life. So, remember, this defeat is not your enemy. It is your coach. It is the training ground where resilience is born. And resilience is the very quality that will carry you through the toughest battles of life. In the end, you will not be remembered only for the victories you claimed, but for the resilience you showed when life knocked you down. In today's world, popularity often looks like the ultimate prize. Social media likes, followers, applause, and recognition can feel like validation. But here's the truth: popularity is temporary. It is like chasing shadows, always moving, never lasting. Purpose, on the other hand, is solid. It grounds you. It guides you. It gives your life meaning even when no one is clapping. When you build your life around popularity, you are living for other people's approval. Your worth rises and falls with the opinions of the crowd. One day, people cheer for you. The next day, they criticize you. If your confidence depends on their voices, you will always be restless, always searching for the next compliment to feel secure. That is not freedom. That is captivity. But when you live with purpose, everything changes. Purpose is the inner compass that points you toward what truly matters. It is the reason you get up in the morning. It is the why behind your efforts, your sacrifices, and your dreams. Purpose is not about being seen. It is about being fulfilled. Think of it this way: popularity asks, "How many people know me?" Purpose asks, "How many people have I helped?" Popularity focuses on the spotlight. Purpose focuses on the impact, and impact lasts far longer than applause. For a student, purpose may mean striving not just for grades, but for knowledge that can one day serve your community. For an athlete, purpose may mean playing not just for personal glory, but to inspire others with discipline and teamwork. For a leader, purpose may mean using influence not to elevate yourself, but to lift others. Whatever your role, purpose takes you beyond yourself. Purpose also gives you resilience when popularity fades, because it will fade. Crowds move on, trends change. But when you are guided by purpose, you are never lost. Even in silence, even in solitude, you remain steady because your motivation is rooted deep within, not in the noise outside. And here's the beautiful part: when you live with purpose, popularity may still come. But it comes as a byproduct, not the goal. People are naturally drawn to those who stand for something greater than themselves. True respect is earned not by chasing attention, but by living authentically. So ask yourself, what drives me? Am I chasing the quick thrill of being noticed, or the lasting fulfillment of making a difference? It is not wrong to enjoy recognition, but it should never be your foundation. Build your foundation on purpose, and you will stand firm no matter what storms come. In the bigger game of life, the measure of success is not how loud the applause is, but how deeply your actions resonate. Popularity ends when the crowd walks away. Purpose endures long after you are gone. Choose purpose, because purpose is the legacy that truly matters. When we think of the word team, the first image that comes to mind is often a group of players on the field working together toward a victory. And yes, teamwork in sport is powerful. No one wins a match alone. But if we look closer, life itself is a team sport. Beyond the pitch, beyond the classroom, beyond the workplace, we are surrounded by another kind of team, our family, friends, mentors, and community. This team is just as vital as any group of players we stand beside during a game. The truth is, no success story is ever written by one person alone. Every individual who achieves greatness is supported by people who believed in them, guided them, and sometimes carried them through difficult moments. Behind every strong performance is a parent who encouraged, a teacher who inspired, a friend who listened, or a mentor who challenged. Recognizing this is not a weakness, it is wisdom. Too often, people think that strength means standing alone, but strength also means knowing when to lean on others. It means accepting help, learning from advice, and appreciating the people who walk with us. Life will always bring challenges too heavy to carry alone. That is when your team beyond the team matters most. This team also keeps you grounded. In moments of success, they remind you of humility. In moments of failure, they remind you of hope. While fans may cheer when you win and disappear when you lose, your real team remains constant. They see not just the athlete, the student, or the professional. They see the person. They value you not for what you achieve, but for who you are. But here is the important part: just as we receive support, we also carry the responsibility to give it back. Being part of a team beyond the team means being there for others, offering encouragement, listening without judgment, and celebrating their victories as much as our own. In life, you are not only lifted by others, you are called to lift others too. Think of the best leaders you know. Their greatness is not measured only by their personal success, but by how many people they have guided, supported, and inspired along the way. The same applies to all of us. Whether in our families, classrooms, or communities, we have the power to be a teammate who makes others stronger. So ask yourself, who is on my team? Who do I turn to when challenges come? And just as importantly, whose team am I on? Who can I encourage, support, or guide today? Because life is not just about moving forward alone. It is about moving forward together. In the end, trophies and titles are temporary, but relationships are lasting. A team beyond the team is not just about success. It is about belonging, resilience, and shared purpose. Cherish those who stand beside you and be the kind of teammate who makes life better for others. That is the true victory. Every achievement we reach, every step forward we take, carries more than personal reward. It carries responsibility. The responsibility to inspire. Whether we realize it or not, our actions are always being observed. Younger siblings, classmates, teammates, or even strangers are watching how we live, how we handle challenges, and how we treat others. In that sense, every one of us is a role model, whether we ask to be or not. When the final whistle of life blows, no one will ask how many trophies you lifted, how many titles you won, or how much wealth you collected. Those things may bring temporary recognition, but they eventually fade into history. What lasts far longer is the memory of who you were, the values you lived by, the way you treated people, and the difference you made in their lives. That is your true legacy. And it is built not on achievements, but on character. Character is the unseen foundation that supports every action. It is what guides you when no one is watching. It is what shapes your decisions when faced with difficult choices. Talent, beauty, or fame can open doors, but only character keeps those doors open. Without it, success is fragile. With it, success becomes meaningful. We all admire people not just because of their victories, but because of their qualities. Think about the leaders, mentors, or role models you respect most. Chances are, you remember them for their honesty, kindness, humility, or courage, not just their accomplishments. Those qualities are the fingerprints of character, and they remain etched in the hearts of others long after worldly achievements are forgotten. Building a legacy of character means living with consistency. It means treating people with respect whether they can benefit you or not. It means standing for what is right, even when it is unpopular. It means choosing honesty over shortcuts, humility over pride, and service over selfishness. These choices may not always bring applause, but they build a reputation that speaks louder than any trophy ever could. And here's the beauty: character is not measured in grand gestures. It is revealed in the small, daily choices we make, saying thank you, keeping promises, admitting mistakes, and lifting others up. Over time, those small acts create an invisible thread that connects us to others. That connection, built on trust and respect, becomes the fabric of our legacy. Your character also becomes the standard for those who follow you. Younger generations, peers, and even strangers often mirror the behavior they witness. By living with integrity, you silently give others permission to do the same. In this way, your character outlives you, passed on not in words alone, but in example. So ask yourself, what will people remember about me when I am no longer here? Will they recall the trophies I won, or the kindness I showed? Will they speak of the wealth I accumulated, or the lives I touched? Those questions are the true measure of a life well lived. In the end, the legacy of character is the only trophy that time cannot tarnish. Medals may rust, fame may fade, but character leaves an unshakable mark on the world. Live each day with integrity, humility, and compassion, and you will leave behind something far greater than records or recognition. You will leave a legacy that inspires generations. The truth is, inspiration is not about speeches or grand gestures. It is about example. A child learns more from watching an elder's consistency than from hearing endless advice. A teammate is encouraged not just by hearing the words "keep going," but by seeing someone work hard despite setbacks. Inspiration lives in actions. This responsibility is not about being perfect. In fact, perfection often feels unrelatable. People are not inspired by flawless lives. They are inspired by courage, honesty, and resilience in the face of imperfection. When you admit mistakes, learn from them, and continue striving forward, you give others permission to do the same. You show them that growth is possible for everyone. Carrying the responsibility to inspire also means living with integrity. It means being the same person in private as you are in public. Integrity builds trust, and trust is the foundation of real influence. A teacher may inspire by their knowledge, but they truly change lives through their fairness. An athlete may inspire through skill, but they truly touch people through humility. A leader may inspire through vision, but they leave lasting impact through kindness. It's important to remember that success is never just for ourselves. When you achieve something, whether it is finishing a degree, winning a competition, or reaching a career goal, you light a path for someone else. You make them believe, if they can do it, maybe I can too. That is the hidden power of every personal victory. It becomes a seed of belief in others. But with this power comes responsibility. To use our platforms, however big or small, to uplift rather than to discourage. To recognize that even casual words can carry weight. A careless comment can break someone's confidence, while a few words of encouragement can change the course of their life. So ask yourself, what message is my life sending? Am I showing others that success is about more than winning? Am I inspiring them to work hard, to be kind, to persevere? You may not know who is watching, but someone always is. And your example may be shaping their tomorrow. In the end, the responsibility to inspire is not a burden, it is a privilege. It means your life matters not only for yourself, but for those who follow behind you. That is the kind of influence that outlasts any trophy or title. That is how ordinary actions create extraordinary impact.